This video has been sponsored by TTartisans. Welcome to another episode of A Fistful of Lenses. This is one of two videos brought to you from the beautiful destination of Venice and the island of Burano. In this particular episode, I'll be using a lens from the sponsor of this video, the TTartisan's 250mm f5.6 mirror lens. Will it be up to the task? Well, let's find out. So before I review the lens, let's just go through the ground rules. In my reviews, I show the images and video taken straight out of camera, without any editing or colour grading, except for a little cropping on a few images. My reasoning for this is to give you a warts and all look at real world images, taken with the lens on test, without disguising the strengths, weaknesses, or true character of the lens with any clever editing software. The camera I'll be using for this test is the Sony a7R Mark III. So let's get started by going through the lens's specifications. The first thing to note is the M42 lens mount. Also typical of a mirror lens is its fixed aperture, which in this case is f5.6. The optical design is 6 elements in 5 groups. Closest focus is 2 meters. The focal length is 250mm, which gives the lens a 10-degree angle of view. The lens accepts 67mm filters and weighs in at 392 grams, at least according to my scale. There are a few features that interest me about this lens. The mirror design produces a distinct donut-shaped bokeh. Although I've looked at lenses with dreamy and creamy bokeh, lenses with soap bubble bokeh, and lenses with swirly bokeh, I've never looked at a lens that produces donut bokeh on the channel before. So it's a bit of a first for Fistful of Lenses. So let's briefly show you what I mean by donut bokeh with a little video and stills. Interesting, I think I'm seeing the possibilities of this lens. I'll explore the bokeh some more later on. But first, let's try the lens out on a trip I've got planned to the beautiful island of Burano and the city of Venice, and see how the lens does with more general photography. First then, the island of Burano. And here we are on the beautiful island of Burano. I'm just going to give you a little slow 360 on top of this little bridge, just to give you a feel of the place. Let's give you a little 360 from a bridge in Burano. I hope this just conveys what a beautiful island it is. Stunning. Absolutely love the place. There you are. It definitely has a different feel to it than Venice, but no less beautiful. Whoops. There certainly are photographic possibilities to be had on the island of Burano. and the 250mm focal length can help pick out some of these. The lens certainly produces some unique looking images, and I feel we'll divide opinion because of this. And that's okay. After all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But let's go deeper and explore how the lens renders colours and do a deep dive into the lens's bokeh and see if we can uncover the real strength of this unusual lens. Let's go bokeh crazy.
Well, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Yeah, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Ain't no place gonna hold me when the road keep rolling on. Left my baby crying, said you can't live that way.
I feel I'm getting better acquainted with the particular quirks of this lens. But before giving you my final conclusions, let's take a further look at this magnificent area by exploring the beautiful city of Venice. So as we view more images taken with the lens, I'll give you my final conclusions about the TTartisan's 250mm f5.6 mirror lens. Firstly, the build quality is excellent and of a very high standard. The lens focal length was mostly a little restrictive for the narrow streets of Venice, but that's just the nature of 250mm lenses and the location I was at. On times, this even became a positive, allowing me to pick out details at a distance, and even a few unobserved portraits. Whilst on the Grand Canal, the focal length combined with manual focus and a gondola bobbing about was a challenging and frustrating exercise in patience. Again, that's the nature of manual focus, and not a criticism. I wouldn't call the lens sharp, but I found it more than made up for this by the way it beautifully renders colours. It gives a natural rendering, coupled with a slightly low contrast vintage feel. Add to this is unusual, sometimes otherworldly looking bokeh, and occasionally you strike gold. I feel with time and patience, this could lift your images way beyond the mundane and ordinary. The 2-meter minimum focus can sometimes feel restrictive, although an easy workaround is to add an extension tube, so not really a deal breaker. In summary, I would say the lens is one that rewards patience. The bokeh was my favourite feature, closely followed by its beautiful colour rendering, and I consider it a welcome addition to my camera bag. Maybe not a lens that I would use for every situation, but more of a specialist lens, used to capture a specific scene in a specific way. Capable on times of capturing the ephemeral beauty of the world we live in. If this lens is of interest to you, please use the link in the description, as this will help me to continue making videos of this sort. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and ring that bell. And then who knows, maybe we'll see each other out there in the real world, snapping away happily with a fistful of lenses. Till next time, bye for now.